Welcome to the brand new series of Discovery! Welcome everyone to another episode of Discovery. I hope you have enjoyed this week. Before I start, pop your comments down below, your discoveries. And you know what? It's been a surprising sort of day because Ixoc Trillium released a brand new album called Seven Demons. I will be giving you a mini sort of review for Ixoc Trillium's brand new album or EP he just released, putting in a 22-minute song to just surprise the fuck out of us. But I'm excited. There's a few discoveries I discovered this week, so you know what? Let's get on with it. Coming up first is Leprous and their album Aphelion. They are a Norwegian progressive metal band, but they have dabbled in a lot of prog rock. And this is no different to their brand new album Aphelion. This album is good overall, I just feel that it just drags a little. There are some really soft and somber moments, and yes, this album is a growing crescendo. It does grow, and until you get to Nighttime Disguise, you finally get some harsh and aggressive growls by the vocalist Einar Soldberg. Soldberg's vocals on this are just really good. I love his angelic vocals throughout songs like Running Low, Out of Here, Have You Ever, The Shadow Side is one of my favorite songs off the album, and Castaway Angels is such a beautiful song overall, and of course there are some great guitar solos. It is one of the best prog rock metal albums of the year at the moment. That's until Dream Theater released their brand new album A View from the Top of the World, which will be released in October 22nd along with Cradle of Filth. Holy shit. But overall, Leprous Aphelion is a good album, it really is, but I just was a little bit bored of it. This is very good background music, it really is. It's good background music, and Nighttime Disguise be one of my favorite songs off the album as well. Finally, there's a bit of a shock factor as well, like very similar to Mombasa by Deafheaven, Infinite Granite, where there was just such a build-up, so much tension, and then it hits you with Nighttime Disguise, which is really sort of heavy song by Leprous. And yeah, it just reminds me of the good old days, such as Bilateral, The Tall Poppy Syndrome, where they were really heavy and very unpredictable. I feel like the sort of newer era of Leprous is very tame, it's tame, but we finally get some really interesting sort of stuff throughout the last song, Nighttime Disguise. Overall, it's a good progressive metal rock album that I would recommend you, but unfortunately didn't make it to my end of month list. Next up is The Chasm, Procession of the Infraworld. This album is so damn good. It is becoming one of my favorite death metal albums. I love it. Now The Chasm are a Mexican band, and they are pretty underrated. The Spectral Sons of the Mictlantecuhtli has such it's an awesome way to kick off the album with an instrumental. Got songs like The Scars of My Journey, Fading, Return of the Banished, which is like 6 minutes. And then you got some great soaring guitar solos. Of course, there are doom metal elements, remind me of bands such as Incantation, at times Immolation, but really mixed with the deep gutturals such as Cannibal Corpse. This overall was a really good album. I just love the mix. It's quite proggy. There are some really dissonant moments as well, and it just throws you off guard at times. Songs like Storm of Revelations are a fucking great way to end off the album. The guitars are really grindy at times. Production is really raw. And it is a fantastic old school death metal album released on April 18th, 2000 through Dwell Records. This is a very, very good death metal album that I absolutely fucking love from start to finish. There is just really interesting, enticing moments on this album that will encapsulate the listener for sure, with some orgasmic guitar moments. The drumming is insane, but the vocals are just really raw and guttural. How did I find this fucking band? Well, through Hooded Menace. There's this little option on Apple Music where you just put autoplay, something playing similar to Hooded Menace style, and this popped on, and holy shit, this is such an awesome song. At the edge of the Nebula Mortis, the fucking guitar rhythms you were getting, the guitar solos, and just the down-tuned doomy moments. This is a fucking great death metal album that I would recommend you to check out, the Chasm Procession of the Infra World. Check it out now. Speaking of Hooded Menace, it's Detritus Bell. Yes, I'm shilling this band again, and it's for good reason. This album is fantastic. It's a heavy death doom album with just really interesting moments. Blood Ornaments has such an awesome guitar solo. Chime Diabolicus reminds me of Iron Maiden at times, especially the guitar riffages, and his vocals are incredible. Released on August 27, 2021 through Season of Mist. What a great way to kick off a brand new discovery, talking about Hooded Menace, Detritus Bell. Songs like Corpus Asunder, Scattered in the Dark has such a infectious melodic chorus, one of the most fucking catchiest chorus by Hooded Menace ever. And Instrumental Somber Finality, a great way to end off the album. Great guitar work. Love the production on this. Production's really good. I was a little bit skeptic with the overall production, but I just feel that at times listening to this album and then listening to another album, the Detritus Bell has really is quite quiet. It's quite a quiet album. You have to really turn it up. Listen to another album, blow your fucking brains out. But overall, the Detritus Bell hasn't got any flaws. It's one of my favorite albums of 2021. It's my favorite one of my favorite doom metal albums of 2021, along with Majestic Downfall and Aphonic Threnody. Awesome death doom time. There are some great death metal elements, just a proggy nature of some of these songs. Those Who Absorb the Night is a pretty underrated song by Hooded Menace, but holy shit, it works. Chime Diabolicus is such a fun, energetic song, incorporate more heavy metal elements. And yes, Scattered in the Dark is just a fucking masterpiece by Hooded Menace. Yes, this album's great. There's also a cover song as well, which I'm not a really big fan of. Just listen to Instruments of the Somber Finality, and this album just flows like water. And not to mention, the fucking introduction on this album with the bells chiming and everything. Look at the fucking album cover. A hooded skeleton is chiming the skull bell, and then that roar is amazing. So yeah, the Detritus Bell Hooded Menace is one of the best albums of the year. Go check it out. Next up is a subscriber request. I can't remember who requested this. I didn't forget you, mate. I didn't forget you. It's Funereal Presence and the album Acadius. What can I say? This album is really good. It's really good. There are some really unpredictable moments. It's a black metal album, you could say, talk about supernatural and occultism, and this album just really took me by surprise. With the introduction very acoustic-like, and you feel like it's going to be a funeral doom album, but all of a sudden these vocals fucking hit you with for a 6. And wow, this album is just full with energy, some great production, great guitar work, and the unpredictable polyrhythmic sections with the drumming. This was released on February 15th, 2019. So this was released through Sepulchral Voice Records, and I'll tell you what, the reviews on this have 98% satisfaction, and I can tell you what, I was fucking satisfied with this album. Great songs when Wherein Acadius is awakened and called upon, wherein 7 celestial beasts are revealed to him, the guitar moments on that, wherein Acadius is flogged to the hills of violation. The album cover says it all, tells a huge story as well. I feel it's a concept album, and I just love the album cover as well. Like he's attacking some beastly fucking monster, Acadius I'm gonna call it. But yeah, this album's fantastic. Some great drumming, production is on point, and it's one of the best black metal albums in 2019 in my opinion. This really rivals Obsequi's album, which was released in 2019. Even Azagram's album, which was Dawn of Infinite Fire, which was also released in 2019. Yes, if I had to make a best black metal albums list of 2019, Acadius would be definitely on it. So thank you so much for the subscriber that requests this album. I really did enjoy it. I love how each song is over 10 minutes, some great moments, beautiful soothing acoustic moments, and it's just unpredictable, ear-grinding, crunching noises you were getting on this album, this incredibly atmospheric album with just so much happening, a lot of darkness involved. Next up is Quicksquare and the album Poison Palinopsa. This is a mouthful to say, but I know Quest for Metal highly suggested this album to me, and you know what, I checked it out, and wow, what an incredible album this is. Now, I did put it in my top 10 albums of August, and for a reason. Just because its dissonant melody at times reminds me of bands such as Suffering Hour, and yeah, this was released on August 13th, 2021 through Dark Descent Records. And yeah, this is such a fun album. Some great guitar melodies. The vocals are so damn guttural and visceral and malicious at times. Songs like Serpentine Cesaris, Mother's Abomination, which is 24 minutes, and the next song is 24 minutes. There are 2 songs, very atmospheric in tone, and I don't know how they managed to make 24-minute death metal songs. There are some slow build-ups, like I said in my top 10 albums, that there were hardly any build-ups, but yeah, there are, listening to this again, there are slow build-ups that really build up the tension on this album. Atmospheric, apprehensive, fucking fantastic. Poison Plenopsia is one of my favorite death metal albums of the year. Well, surprise, surprise, Aesop Trillium released a brand new album, or EP you could say, Urian Soul 7 Demons. And I've listened to this album a lot. This was released today, August 29, 2021, independently. And I gotta tell you something, Dive Requiem for the Serpent Telepath is my favorite album by Aesop Trillium. This album is just very different in my opinion. Of course, there are some synth moments that build throughout Urian Soul 7 Demons. The vocal melodies are very different as well. Heath's vocals, in my opinion, much more harsher and rawer, incorporates more death metal vocals throughout the second song, 7 Demons, and Z-Dynth Guitar, which is the last song off the album. It's a fucking 21-minute song, and this 21 minutes flies so damn quickly, it really does. This is an incredible song by Aesop Trillium, and Asagul's vocals are just, wow, immense and intense. There are some soft moments on this album with those synths, very similar to Baradu as well. And yes, there are some elements from older Aesop Trillium albums, such as the synths and the melodies. At times the melodies do get stuck in your head. But yeah, like I said, that 21-minute song is something I've never heard by Aesop Trillium. And the drumming at times does sound a little bit thin, but it seems like Aesop Trillium is going towards the production of the older Aesop Trillium sound, such as their first album, Mystic Echo from a Funeral Dimension. They had the same sort of similar production. I really do enjoy the production. It's a shame we don't get some cool artwork, but I mean, Asagul looks fucking sick anyway. But I loved it, I really did. I don't know if it's an EP or an album. Regardless, it runs as long as an album, by like a death metal album, like 35 minutes. So that 22-minute song is a fucking masterpiece by Aesop Trillium. And Serthen is so fun as well. And Urian Soul 7 Demons, the self-titled track, which is around 10 minutes, is really fun and energetic. Great guitar melodies, great drumming. I wish I could have added in my top 10 albums of August, because this would ideally be close to a number 1. This nearly as good as Nifgraph, Visions of White Mountains. Loved it. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you thought about this brand new discovery. If you did actually enjoy this discovery, let me know your discoveries down below, and I will see you in the next one.